the budget sessions been going? Are you guys getting all the answers that you have been looking for from the administration?
Well, it's funny that you mentioned about the ARP funds. I think that would be an important piece of information to have. I know that the governor has the discretionary power to distribute those, but my concern is that with our current budget, we've only allotted 1% for economic development, and of course, there's 38% of that budget goes to public education, and considering that there's 18,000, potentially unemployed. And, there's others too. I mean, coming through as far as our education system, those that are graduating, we really would like to, direct these funds to help rebuild our economy at this time. I think it's very important that we work together on this. It's unfortunate that we are only seeing half of the picture. I think when we work together, we can definitely make this and engineer an economic recovery much quicker. So I think that's one of the things that is missing. But in regards to the other things, it seems that BBMR and OFB seem to be pretty much seeing the same things as far as what we're tracking historically. The points where they depart are basically when it comes to BPT. So BBMR takes more of the optimistic view in regards to what they see is coming in regards to business privilege taxes. OFB, paints a more, conservative picture based on tourism numbers and perhaps the PUA program ending. The other thing that's very different is the allocation, the inclusion of a windfall that we're having for the very first time, which is the EITC, which we had to pay out of our own coffers, and now the federal government is going to reimburse us, but we don't know the full details as of yet. The other thing is the child tax credit, which is, before we had just the additional child tax credit, and that was capped, I believe, at $2,000. But now it's been increased to about $3,600, depending on what how many children a person would have. It would increase the amount that they could get. So these are things that are new to the budget that we would definitely have to consider. But for me, if we really want, now is an opportune time for the budget to really, put some of this money towards economic recovery. And I think there's more that could be done when I look at this budget.
Yeah, definitely.
But not having the ARP information, that doesn't help necessarily. That doesn't help us. And I think it's really important that we sit together and, I think if we put our heads together, when you look at first of all, GCC, and under the leadership of President Maricata, she has found a winning model to bring people back to work, which is the boot camps. I think it's really important to harness a lot of the innovative ideas that many of our people have and work together. I think that's what it's going to take. And also looking at the budget, it shows that a large portion of the tax refunds are based on government subsidies. So 110 million out of the 145 million of tax refunds. And what that indicates to me is that really, we've been in a slump for such a long time, but we've just, got used to it. And, this pandemic has kind of really woke us up that we really need to work on our economy, diversifying our economy. I think, that's something I've always said, in your show many times. Yeah. It really starts with education, and we need to retool and our agencies to ensure that we are adapting to the times, especially now with this pandemic. It just shows that we really, it exacerbated a lot of the problems that we've had. Right. And it's high time that we really, work towards fixing those issues, those long-standing issues.
What's the next play for you guys? Because a lot of these long-standing issues that you're talking about fixing, I mean, you guys turned in the plan. It was signed off on by all 15 senators. You gave the plan to the governor. There was some very lofty, very aspirational ideas in your American Rescue Plan spending outline, which included, tens of millions for infrastructure upgrades, tens of millions for off-island scholarships, right, for professional and technical students to go off island and become doctors, lawyers, whatever, come back and give those services to our community. So you've done that. You guys have written about a ream's worth of letters to Adelup about their plan, but nothing's happening. And the governor seems to reiterate that she believes you guys should stay in your lane. She's not addressing you. She's addressing Senator Joseph Augustine. So when we talk about wanting to know where the money's going to go and wanting to have that big part of the picture, which is the ARP, are you guys entertaining the possibility that you might not ever get that picture unless you go to court or something? Because it doesn't seem like the governor's going to budge, and it's been months, right, since that meeting.
Yes. So yeah, we're still in the budget talks. I mean, hopefully we can, come to terms and come to the table and, work together. That's always my hope. And yeah, I prefer much to do it more of the nice route, if possible. Yeah, I think that we're extending our hand. The legislature is extending our hand to sit down and work together. I think, September is coming around where PUA is ending. We really need to kick into gear a plan for the people. And, I think it's really about the long term. This money is not going to come around again. I don't see this type of help coming around again. And we're squandering our opportunities if we're not going to sit down and work together on this. There's so much more that can be worked together versus working in silos. And this has to change if we really want to turn Guam around economically, to be sustainable. And this is something what she stands for. She stands for sustainability, with the G3 framework, right? So what better way to practice it by working together with the legislature to ensure that we are engineering an economic recovery. And the Delta variant is in our community. We haven't gotten over the pandemic, and what we learned from this pandemic is that if we're going to keep our community safe, we have to work together to protect each other. Likewise with the economic downturn, what this pandemic is showing us, I think, is that if we're to come out of this, we have to work together, not only protecting our health, but also helping to build a more resilient economy.
Well, Senator, we certainly thank you for coming on. We've got to go because we have an interview that we need to get to with the superintendent. Obviously, there's been significant developments with students who have tested positive. So thank you so much for coming on. There are a couple of other things that we'll reach out to you because I would like to get an update on whether or not there's going to be that joint oversight hearing with the situation at Marbo Cave, and also more on the bills that you and Speaker Therese Jalahi introduced. But for now, like I said, we do have to get to the superintendent. Thank you again, and good luck, really, during budget session.
We didn't even get to ask you about the All Rise, so we'll try and get you on, I don't know, tail end of this week or next, to ask you about this All Rise
DRT's
situation.
meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m. with the mayors.
There, in case you didn't know.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
All right.
Okay. 7:38. Let's actually go to the phones now, where we are joined by Superintendent of Education, John Fernandez. John, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Good morning.
Yeah, today, Chris and Sabrina. I am on the road, so hopefully our connection stays good when we're talking.
Right. Let's just get right into it because I'm sure maybe your phone's been blowing up.